Hey guys, Huz here bringing you another video. Now welcome to the first league discussion of Season 9. I'll say this video is proudly sponsored by Qt for a big bad reason. Not bad reason, but a great reason. Is I want to give you guys the biggest voice I personally can offer you when it comes to everything role ranked. So obviously the new season's been here nearly 2 weeks, maybe 2 weeks. And obviously that means a lot of you have tried it. You know, the largest portion of my audience is North American. So a lot of you have been playing with it recently. And I'm sure if you're not on North America, like myself, you've been hearing about Role Ranked for the last couple of weeks. You've been seeing the Reddit threads. You've been seeing the board posts on the LOL subreddit itself, their own website. You've been seeing the tweets that some people have been giving. It's been a lot, you know, nearly every day there is something new about Role Rank that I'm hearing, and I thought now's a good time to make a discussion that I'm going to just talk about it a little bit, and I'm basically myself, again, by the way, I'm still very much against it, but I do see there are some positives, which you can't ignore, but I just think there are more negatives than positives. But what I'm offering in this video is the biggest chance for you guys to get your voice heard, in the fact that Ed, Satmagic, the head of the ranked team, so in charge of Role Ranked, you know, the team that are doing it, I asked him the other day in Twitter DMs, what is the best way that my audience, if they have questions, if they've got feedback, what should they do? And he said, give it to me. So what I'm doing is with Qt, which is linked down below, you guys can talk everything Role Ranked that you want in that Qt. There is even $100 worth of Riot points as an incentive to get involved. If you join the discussion on the Qt, leave your feedback about it, leave your opinions, leave your suggestions, go all out in the Qt. There's $100 worth of Riot points being given out. And the guys at Qt have told me that they're going to be doing a fancy report. Using all the data from that discussion, they'll put it into a report form, and then I can give that report to Ed, which should be relatively easy to read, so he doesn't have to spend hours going through it. He can just have a very clear, this is what people think, blah, 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 blah. So really good. This is literally your best chance to get your voice heard, because I've had even people like private message me, even in my stream, Huz, I want to talk about Role Ranked, but I feel that I'm going to get ignored or my voice just won't be heard. So for me, as Huzzy Games, this is the best thing that I personally can offer you. You know, I'm sure other YouTubers might be able to offer more, but this is the best that I can do. So feel free to join the discussion, link down below. And for the rest of the video, we're just going to be talking about Role Ranked in general. What do people think about it? What have I been hearing? But I'm actually going to start with something that I actually have already suggested to Ed, which I don't know. It'll be interesting to me if he says that they can't do it or they won't do it. And I have a funny idea why I know why they wouldn't do it. And it's speculative, but I'm going to say the point anyway. So my whole thing with Role Ranked is I dislike it. And that's pretty much never going to change. It's never going to change, not because I'm stubborn, not because I'm big-headed, but because my core principle, everything about League, to be a good player, to me, is to be able to play all 5 roles to your mains position. So what I mean by that, and again, I think I share the opinion, and a lot of people who have played the game for a long time share my opinion, because the old ranked system was not holding your hand, you can pick mid on top and just get those two for the 90% of your games. It was like you all got into champion select and you got whatever was left in the pick order. If your bottom pick and support was left, you're playing support. If your bottom pick and mid was left, well, you're playing mid. It's just the way that it was. So you had to know how to play all 5 roles back in the day. So for me, a good League of Legends player, if I had to define it, let's say a Diamond 3 player. Very good player, you know, in the top couple % of the game. A good player for me, who is Diamond 3, can hold their own in all 5 positions in Diamond 3. So they can play all 5 roles at that level. Where they want to then become a Diamond 2 player, then they don't have to play all 5 roles to get Diamond 2, but let's say they're a mid laner, well, they can then use their mid lane main as to climb higher. But if they're then Diamond 2, and then they're given AD carry, well, they can hold their own as AD carry in the current rank they're in. That's the point that I kind of say. That doesn't mean that they have to win all the games, but they can hold their own. You wouldn't really notice, oh god, that guy is not good at AD carry. They'd hold their own. They would kind of blur into the game. They wouldn't be a bad player at any role. That's my definition, and that's obviously the core fundamental why I disagree with Role Ranked. Because what Role Ranked is, it's rewarding you for being only good at one thing. you're only good at mid. Oh, it doesn't matter. You can get diamond rewards only playing mid. It doesn't matter that you suck at the other 4. You're only good at that. Congrats. That's the core fundamental. That's why I'll never like role ranked. There are other reasons, because again, as somebody that does like playing other things or likes to have the opportunity to play other things, it feels like role ranked is going to take that away from me rather than give. Because I think Riot did role ranked for a number of reasons, but I think one of the biggest reasons they did it is they want people to be playing the game more. I don't think Riot would ever admit that, but I think, you know, some head of department or some guy on the board at Tencent or whatever, it could have been a trickle-down message going, we need people to play the game more. You know, Fortnite's winning, let's get people on League more. How do we get people on League more? What about, instead of them having 1 rank that they've got to rank up, what about 5? That instantly makes people have to play League more. There are 5 times the ranks to go. And yes, Riot have said that there's the trickle effect, there's the splashing effect, that you can skip promos sometimes. You're still going to have to play more if you are somebody that likes other roles. That's just 100% guaranteed. So I think that's why they did it. I don't think they needed to do it. I think they just did it because they want people to play LoL more. Because, to be honest, how many people were asking for role ranked? The only people that I even would imagine were asking for role ranked before it was a thing were One-Tricks. And then before I get into my point that I think is the biggest fix to role ranked, and I don't think Riot would do it, I actually want to try and say something and fix a point that I've been saying for a while. I have been saying for months that, oh, role ranked is the one-trick queue. And it is, but it also isn't. Now, it is because, again, you're getting rewarded for only being good at one thing. So One-Tricks who are only good at one thing, you're getting rewarded. You're not getting punished in case you get a different role. So that's a good thing for One-Tricks. But it might have been on Twitter the other day that I got enlightened by a One-Trick moaning about role ranked. And I was like, why is he moaning? He's a One-Trick. And it's because ranked is literally a waste of time for people that only care about one role if they're not getting that role. For example, let's say, it might have been a Lee Sin main, it might have been another YouTuber, I don't know, but let's say you're a Lee Sin main. Lee Sin, right now, only can jungle. Like, you can play him in other roles, but viability, you're only going to really play that champion in jungle, and if you're a one-trick Lee, you're only going to care about the jungle rank. What happens if you're given mid? What happens if you're given top? You literally do not care about that game. It doesn't matter how many incentives Riot put on being able to play these other roles, that Lee Sin one-trick literally doesn't care about the outcome of top lane or the outcome of mid. To him, it's a complete waste of time. And there is nothing that Riot can do about that to people that only care about one thing. So even though I was like, it's good for one-tricks, it is when they get that role, but it's absolutely, it's even worse for one-tricks when they don't get that role, because they literally don't care about it. It is completely just wasting their time, wasting their life in a way. So I was like, oh, that actually makes sense. So it's not really for anybody, you know? It's not for people that like playing multiple things, because we're going to have to play more games. It's basically the only people that I thought this is for, and this is where in the QT you can agree or disagree, is beginners. That's it. That's the only group of people that I was like, that's who it's for. It's for beginners to basically, they haven't decided what they want to play yet, but they can try all 5 roles at the lowest level of ranked without getting punished. That's who role ranked's for. It's for no one else. It's not for high rating people, because guess what? And this is the point that I'm going to go on to next. The fix. But it's not for high rating people because role ranked is not in high rating. They turn it off when you get to master. So it's not even in role ranked. So my potential fix to the system that I don't think Riot will do, and you can agree with me, you can disagree with me, but have it to be opt-out. Have an option that by default, your League of Legends account has 5 ranks. You're in role ranked. And again, if they implement this to EU West, go for it. I don't care if they do this fix. But you have an option on your account to combine your roles, to go to the old system. Now, the reason why I will say they can do this is because I mentioned it's already in the game for two factors. One, for Master above, role ranked is not a thing. For those that are wondering why is it not a thing, probably because there's not enough players to cover all 5 ranks in that rating. So they just need to have the general rating instead. But so the technology is already there for that. Secondly, if you're somebody that is trying to do this duo queue abuse and you're trading with people, people have already been warned, if you keep swapping in Champion Select, your ratings will merge into one. So the technology exists. So why not make it opt out? That I, for example, would definitely opt out of it because I like playing mid and top more or less equally at the moment, and I want both my mid and top lane games to go to my main rank. I don't want to be like, okay, my top lane rank is lower rating than my mid, and my mid is not as high because when I play top, it doesn't affect my mid that much. That's just a pain in the butt. I like mid and top equally at right now, and it would slow me down with role ranked. So have it be opt out. Now, the reason why I say I don't think Riot will do it, because it will kill role ranked, honestly. The reason why I say that is because the exact same thing happened with Dynamic Queue in Season 6. Riot implemented a change that nobody asked for. Does it sound familiar already? Yes, it does. So they implemented a change nobody asked for. Fair enough. You're a game developer. You're trying to make changes. They did it for the whole season, which people hated, but they held to their guns going, we really think this works, so we're going to get rid of the ranked 5s queue that admittedly wasn't used very much, so fair enough, but we're going to now have dynamic queue become flex queue. And that's what happened. Obviously, they changed it very slightly, but it is dynamic queue. And look what dynamic queue became. If you are somebody that plays dynamic queue, that's great, that's fine. I don't want to take away your fun, but for the vast majority of ranked players, dynamic queue is seen as the joke queue. It's seen as the, I'm going to warm up in a flex game. I'm going to try a new champion in a flex game. I'm going to play with my friends in a flex game. It's not the hardcore rank queue. It was never the hardcore rank queue. And that's what I believe would happen if they actually gave the players the option to opt out positional. There already would be, like, I don't know if they would ever make a differentiation, but it's like, oh, you got to Diamond being a mid laner. Oh, well done. But I got to Diamond being a, overall player. There would definitely be a difference. And I think for the vast majority of people that like to think that they're okay at the game, they're good at the game, whatever it may be, competitive at the game, everybody would turn that off. Like, to me. Like, one tricks. See, the weird thing, and again, if you're a one trick, you can definitely say one tricks either would or wouldn't. Like, it'd be difficult because, again, the point is they like it because they can get a really high rank, inflated rank because they're only good at one thing. But then on the games that they're not getting that, they're wasting their time. So would you turn it on or off? But to me, that would be the change. That is like, other than like the little fixes that they need to do with the abusing, the duo queue abuse type of thing that's going on, I honestly think if Riot gave the option for the player base to kind of go, okay, you don't like it, you're somebody that you play 2 roles equally, 3 roles equally, you can turn it off. Go ahead. That's a fix right there. Like, I would shut up if they did that, because to me then role ranked would be irrelevant. It's irrelevant to me now because I'm on EU West. But again, every single week and every single day that it's chugging along, we're a little bit closer to Riot potentially bringing it to EU West. So then it will be my problem. So for me, the biggest fix to make people happy, and again, I don't clearly see a negative apart from it potentially could die, but for the player base itself would be have it opt in, opt out. Because again, to the people that like it, you still have it. You can do it. Again, for people that like dynamic queue, flex queue still exists. You can play flex queue. You can play with your friends. But to people like me that, again, the fix was solo queue came back. I don't have to care about flex queue. For me, I hate role ranked. I don't have to care about it because there's an opt-out feature. And again, Riot can't say that it can't happen because it already is happening with Master and above. And if you're swapping too much, it makes all your ranks into one. Anyway, for a while. So the technology is already in the game. So that to me is my Huzzy fix role rank situation, is basically make it for those that want it, for those that don't. And for those that are wondering how would the toggle work, opt out, it's perfect how it would work. Riot have recently done the change, which again, I love a lot of the changes. So to Ed, if he is watching this video or he's just watching the report or reading the report, whatever, I love a lot what the team did. Like, I love it. The placement games, massive big thumbs up from me. That was awesome. split it, making it only 4 divisions and implementing a new higher rank, a new lower rank, great. Because again, sometimes bronze was a little bit iffy, even with new players. Well, now they have iron. It's something like 5% of the player base are now in iron, which are genuinely the new players. That's great. And diamond, for the past few seasons, I've just got to diamond again on my main account. Diamond's a fiesta. It's been a fiesta for years. I'm 7th year in a row I'm in diamond. It's nice that we're separating diamond more. I love that. We've needed that for years. So to me, again, I'm not anti-Ed. He's a great guy. I've spoken to him a bunch. He cares. You know he cares. But where I had the issue is it's just forcing a change that to me wasn't needed. But the fix to it would be potentially have it be opt-out. But like I mentioned, sorry. The other change that I loved was the splits. There are now 3 splits per ranked season. How you could easily do the opt-in, opt-out feature is at the beginning of each split, you say, do you want to opt in to role ranked or opt out of role ranked? 3 times a year you have that, and even in preseason, I'm sure everybody would turn it off just to practice or do whatever they want. It doesn't matter. But that's when you do it at the beginning of each split. And obviously we know that if they are going to go with role ranked, it's not coming until split 2 on all other servers. So it literally be perfect. You know, split 2 starts. Hey, role ranked is now on EU West. Do you want to be involved or no? I'd click no. But for those that want it, you've got it. To me, that is the ultimate fix to this whole thing. But I'm sure there's other things, other points that you guys have, and you can leave them in the QT. Again, just to remind you, there's $100 of Riot points on the line, which is a lot. We're going to be giving it, it doesn't matter what region you're on, we'll get the Riot points to you. You'll get contacted by me. And what I will say, just to make it a little bit easier, if you've got, in your QT comment, leave your account and server, your summoner name and server. Then I know, obviously, where the Riot points is going. So, yeah, that is going to be it for this video. Again, I don't want to say every point that I have about role rank because I want to leave that to you guys. You know, that as I mentioned, maybe very briefly, there's been some instances of duo queue abuse. There's been numerous pros tweeting. I think it was maybe Bang or Rush, one of them on Twitter, that was like, this ranked system ... in a negative way. It was like, oh god. I don't think the pros like this either. But other than that, again, apart from role ranked, which could be easily fixed to be opt-out, so the people that don't like it don't have to do it, the people that like it can stay doing it, everything else more or less seems like a positive. The only other thing that I've heard people be slightly negative about, but I don't even see it as a negative, is the new starting MMR for fresh accounts. So the new starting MMR for fresh accounts is all the way down in Iron, which is pretty damn low, but I don't see that as a problem because the whole point of Iron rank was for new players. And if you're on a fresh account, you can't complain that you're starting from the bottom because you're on a Smurf. But yeah, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Go crazy in the comment in the QT. Get as many comments as we can and get $100 worth of Riot points. We'll give that report to Ed in a few days. And hell, then maybe again I had to cancel my chat with him before the season begun because of my computer issues. But maybe with this report we can have a chat with him there and he can answer some of the questions that people are giving. That would be amazing. But that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Comment down below. If you don't want to use the QT, feel free. But please use the QT. It literally takes a couple minutes. But yeah, smash the like button. Comment down below. Subscribe. Ding the bell. And I'll see you guys next time. See ya.